what inspired the idea was when I first originally started writing my book, I envisioned it where I get on all sorts of clientele that come in my chair, and I get to hear the most amazing stories from every individual person. And I feel like, you know, I interview people every day, all day, every 30 minutes. So the idea came about as being able to interview the everyday people of everyday life. Is just finding the ordinary, beautiful people and finding what they're unique and special in. Because we're all special and we're all talented in something. Thank you for joining this fabulous reality. I'm gonna have you kind of like state, you know, your name, who you are, what you do, a little bit about yourself.
For sure.
You know, while I'm gonna cut you off, you know. So it's gonna be more like I'm gonna give you a haircut. I'm gonna interview you in the process of the haircut.
For sure.
Kind of thing. So killing two birds in one stone, haircut and interview at the same time.
It's typically like a normal haircut with you then.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I try to motivate my clients.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm trying to do like not just motivate my clients, but motivate everybody else in the process.
Yep.
Just really quick, are we gonna do a 1 on the sides?
Yeah, let's actually bring it all the way down to a 0 on the side.
So like a regular 0 or a skin?
Regular 0.
Regular 0. So you still want to have like the attached lines attaching to the beard and stuff like that?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Cool. Anything else? Like touch up the beard?
Yeah, touch up the beard. You know, make that line up a little bit more crisp. Obviously, with the blade is always for the best. So.
Nice. All right, let's do it. So, Colton, tell us a little bit about yourself. Like what you do.
Well, my name is Colton Smith. I'm a performance coach for professional athletes. I'm originally from Las Vegas, Nevada, where I was born and raised from a young age, but I was transported from Vegas to Iowa with my mom once my parents got divorced, and I was actually raised in Iowa, excuse me.
Iowa boy.
Yep, Iowa boy. Was raised on a farm with my stepdad, and
you definitely don't look like a farmer.
no, it's definitely a different upbringing for sure from what I was born. But yep, grew up in Iowa up until I was in college, 23. After I graduated college, and I moved to Phoenix after that.
Okay, what'd you graduate with?
I graduated from the University of Northern Iowa with a Bachelor of Arts in Exercise Science and Physiology. So just a lot of kinesiology and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. So who are you training right now at this current moment?
Well, I only have one client at the moment, a professional tennis player by the name of Monica Puig.
Okay.
Yeah. Puerto Rican national. She's rehabbing from an injury that she sustained probably about a solid year ago, was when her first surgery was on a shoulder injury. But through a rehabilitation process, a second injury occurred, and she had to have surgery again in May, and just kind of had to have a little bit of a reset with her in these past months. But yep.
What are your goals for her rehabilitation? Or if somebody else does, let's say, hurt the shoulder, what would be something that they would do, or would you recommend in a sense for them?
Well, I would definitely recommend them going to a physical therapist to get that programming in mind. She has her own PT who she goes to.
Okay.
So all that PT stuff is, left to him, and I'm just the performance guy that helps her through, getting better with agility and, cardio and stronger and mobility and all that kind of stuff with nutrition, from obviously just even on-court psychology and small little bits and pieces like that.
Okay, so what are your goals for her? Like, what kind of plan have you set up for her?
Well, obviously our ultimate goal is winning Grand Slam titles.
100%.
She's already won an Olympic gold medal in 2016, so she already knows what it takes to be at that level. But from 2016 to 2021, a lot of things can happen, and unfortunately, a couple injuries did occur, and through our rehabilitation, we've marked those goals as being going to the top. why be in sports if you're not going to be going for those types of aspirations?
I totally agree. Well, I usually don't see people that do play sports like not like fully like engage 100% in.
Yeah.
And the ones that do play sports are usually 100% like it's a lifestyle.
Yep.
Like you cannot like if you're gonna be an athlete, it gotta be a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's full go for sure. From nutrition to recovery to my standpoints on performance, getting faster and all that kind of stuff to on-court applications with a hitting coach. It's definitely a full picture kind of life for sure.
Okay. So what are your personal goals for yourself?
Well, continue my work with Monica, continue my work in the field that I'm in, broaden my horizons in that. But in the end, obviously figuring out how I can ultimately get my own facility in a city like Phoenix, a city that has a lot of diverse sports in the area, and change lives, change athletes' heads, change athletes' bodies, and help them become better versions of themselves holistically, not just physically but mentally as well.
I agree. I feel like that's kind of like the biggest like people try to take more care of their physicality and like their mental state.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are two and two that come together.
It's huge for
you
sure.
know? And you can't have one without the other.
No, you can't.
So if you were to go back to your younger self, what would be 3 things you would tell yourself?
3 things I would tell myself. Keep your faith.
Keep your faith. I like that.
Stay committed to being yourself. Genuinely. Don't be something that you're not. There are people who might jump off your train, but the people who are meant to be on will stay on the entire time. But the third one probably just be stay out of trouble, never give up. That corny kind of stuff, but all that
It's true though.
corny cliche sayings do ring true.
I believe that. The one thing I learned that was the corniest thing, like when I was a kid, like the faster you gain it, the faster you lose it. Like
Yeah,
fast money.
true.
Like, you know what I mean? I had to like learn that the hard way. Like there's no such thing as fast money. There's no like reward. Like there's no reward for hard. Without no hard work, there's no reward.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you know what I mean? And,
Appreciation is a big thing.
no, for sure. It's kind of one thing that I had to like learn the hard way, I would say. Where do you see yourself like 5 years from now?
Well, hopefully by that time having that facility open. Probably not working at it as a coach,
Hopefully training coaches.
full week to week, but training coaches to do what I do now. But yet again, I'm only going to be 36 by that point, so
How old are you now?
31.
31.
Yeah,
I'm
so 5 years on the road.
Nice.
Obviously, I'll have quite a bit of gas left in me as far as my passion for helping athletes accrue what they want to do. But in the end, as far as the big picture, would be creating a place that my knowledge can be, exponentially
Utilized properly.
utilized. Yes.
Okay. How do you want to like create your own like, you know how like a lot of trainers have their own like courses and classes and
Yeah, I mean,
programs and stuff like that, you know?
there's always a crude way of saying it, a bunch of ways to skin a cat, but everybody has their own niche, and through experience, obviously, I would try to teach coaches the way that I do it, but you can only control, creativity so much. I think the best way of creating a healthy environment is letting someone be them,
Sure.
helping them with certain guidance points, but you can't control like warm-ups and stuff like that. But technique is always taught and reverberated, and it's expected, and like I said, teaching from the top to the bottom and exemplifying that, it would just take care of that with itself, I would think. But as far as my own programs,
You have started your own program?
I've written online programs so far, but I just haven't put them in a mobile drive yet. I haven't put it online, haven't started marketing for that yet. I just wanted to make sure that everything was
Kosher?
and I put the right kind of time and passion into it. I don't want to produce, low quality items and put it out.
I mean, you gotta. I've kind of learned, by getting perfect is by creating like work in a sense.
Yeah,
You can't have perfection without repetition.
true.
In
Yeah.
a sense.
So putting it out there eventually would
I
probably
think eventually
produce
you'll
that.
find the right niche market, and before you know it, you'll kind of like be guided to exactly where you need to
What I
go.
want to do exactly.
What do you think? I know there's not much that we cut off in a sense.
No, I like it.
Nice and clean,
Yeah, just
lines are straight.
it's perfect. I like it a lot
I
actually.
know you're growing your hair out because before we used to cut your hair short.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Trying to let the top grow out for the braids to come in,
I love that.
but no, I like it.
Hell
As
yeah.
long as we
Sharpen up the razor.
sharpen up the razor a little bit, that's perfect.
Perfect. Hell yeah. Cool. Who were your if you had to like look back, right? Who would you say the one person that influenced you to become you?
The one person that
To influence you. It doesn't have to be one. Just who would you say?
to become me,
Yeah.
I'd probably say there were a couple people involved in that.
Okay.
Probably a high school football coach.
Nice.
Very influential in my life as far as sparking that fire and keeping that fire going and guiding me in the right direction and making sure that direction is always going to be that way, instilling the things that are always going to be there.
I agree.
And, a couple of strength and conditioning coaches in college. I can still hear their voices in my head as I'm coaching my own athletes. So, Greg Thomas and Dominic Davis is their names.
Okay. That's it's like surprising you actually remember the names too. That's
Oh
good.
yeah. Well, Dominic Davis and Jed Smith were my two coaches in college.
Nice. Football coaches?
Strength and conditioning coaches.
I didn't mention. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you got going on this week?
Not a crazy amount. Just training Monica and
Now, do you train her in state? Or
Yep.
you fly out to somewhere
no,
else?
I train her in state right now. We did fly to Florida for a couple months in preparation to go on tour,
Uh-huh.
but that was March and April, so short-lived, unfortunately. Florida was great. We lived in Boca Raton for about 2 months down there.
Nice. I like Boca Raton. I've been to Boca Raton.
Yeah,
Beautiful down there.
Gorgeous area for sure. Unfortunately, it was only 2 months, but yeah, we're just in North Phoenix, North Scottsdale area.
Nice.
The rehab facility she goes to is Rehab Plus on East Bell, so it's close by here.
How did she find you?
My mentor has vast experience in high performance, but mainly in tennis.
Uh-huh.
He had a couple high-profile players that gave him a certain prestige and notoriety, and I've been under him for a while, just learning life lessons from him, to be honest. But he also helps me with career stuff, and he pointed me in the direction of Monica, and that was early January of last year. And
Before COVID?
before COVID hit.
Did that affect
no,
you?
No. That was after COVID.
That was after COVID?
Yeah, that was after COVID.
Would you say COVID affected the conditioning and the training a little bit?
If we didn't have the facilities that we do, it would have in a vast amount. But we have a close friend who has private facilities that enabled us to
Still
train and train consistently.
Nice. That's important because it's like a month. Like, you know what they say: if you don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing.
Yep.
You know, that's the truest thing that anybody can ever tell you. Like, if you don't condition it, you definitely do lose it.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it doesn't matter whether you did it 5-10 years ago and you think you were the best a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you haven't been up and practiced about it, like, there's no way.
Especially in.
You will perform the same way.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm really like I truly believe like mobility and strength, like conditioning training is really important because I'm a barber and I sit on my feet all day, and one thing I know is like I personally have to constantly stretch myself.
Yeah.
Because I sit on my feet, and if I didn't,
lower back starts to hurt, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly, and people don't realize like you have to like work on yourself in order to do anything you want to do in this life.
I completely agree.
It's like almost like we all invest in others, but not in ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can be guilty of that for sure.
Like,
just with general maintenance with your body.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got a sore back, sore lower back, yada yada. But
and you try to baby it.
Try to baby it out, and then you.
That's the worst thing I think
you
you do.
overcompensate, and then another part of your body gets hurt. So.
Yeah. Get your nice hot towel. Finish you off. Nice massage afterwards. If you can inspire one person today, what and how would you do it?
Depending on if I know the person or not, finding some kind of connectivity to them. And this might be touchy to some, but I'm very, very big on faith. Very, very big on having that faith within yourself. If you don't have faith within a higher power either, then you won't have faith within yourself.
True. I was gonna be the question.
I can't give you what I would tell them off rip, but once you get in those situations, it just comes to you. God just kind of lets you know how to inspire in that situation. So I would lean on my faith to inspire them to dig into theirs, and through that, anything can happen.
I agree. So my uncle one time told me it's kind of funny you say faith, right? He says it's kind of shitty, and some people are gonna take this the wrong way, and especially if they're like true believers in God. So he goes to me and says, "He who believes in God doesn't believe in himself, because you have to believe in yourself in order to believe in anything else. Because a lot of people find God first, and then they find themselves. But a lot of the times, God is a reflection of yourself, in a sense. That's how like a lot of people perceive it.
Or vice versa, we are a reflection of God.
100%. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's definitely some different opinions on that, for sure.
That's the beautiful part.
To each their own on that.
I totally agree. That's the beautiful part about with the barbershop, right? You can have any conversation you want without anybody getting mad or upset at you.
Exactly.
I know. I remember growing up at the barbershop, my dad used to tell me all the time. He goes, "Never talk about politics and never talk about religion."
Yeah. That's why I said that.
You can stay away from those two things.
Yeah.
You'll be like you got the golden rule down. Colton, it was a pleasure seeing you. Always a pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you
brother.
for stopping by.
God bless.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Always a pleasure. Take good care of yourself.
You too.
Love it. Thank you guys for watching Fabulous Reality, and I hope you guys stay tuned for the next episode.
What you been about? All that time we spent apart, they got me healing now. I've been healing. Yeah, if I think about it, I just write it down. Fuck their thoughts, man, that shit'll never